Now, we've all made some mistakes on our investing journey, and these are mine. Hello there and welcome to another video on investing on the stock market. If you enjoyed the video, hit subscribe, drop me a comment. I appreciate all of you and I answer 99% of the comments. So I've been investing since 2013 for 5 years. It's not a long period, but I've gone through some lessons. And of course I started out knowing nothing about the stock market. Now I feel I got a good grasp of it. And of course, as with anything, you want to learn from your mistakes, and ideally, if you never repeat a mistake, you'll become perfect at something. That's impossible, but that's what we're trying to do. So these are not mistakes where I actually lost money, but I lost out on potential profits because the stock market has gone up so much, and I've never lost money on a stock, but I've certainly lost out on a lot of profits. So I'm going to give you the fundamental mistakes and then some examples of stocks where the mistake occurred. This is all in hindsight after the fact, so keep that in mind. But it's important to reflect on your mistakes. So the first one is not committing to my favorite stocks, Activision, Blizzard and Amazon. You might say, well, you couldn't possibly know that these two stocks, would go up 300% in 3 years. Well, no, but at the time when I bought these two companies, I had never been as confident about anything. I knew I loved these companies and I knew they were going to do great, but I invested just a little bit to get skin in the game because I thought, the stock's really expensive, it's probably a really risky company, it's high risk, high reward, I'm just going to invest a little bit. I don't feel comfortable committing, even though I love the company. Big mistake. These two are today my top holdings, the best performing stocks in the S&P 500, and I've made a lot of money on them, and I've bought more and more over the years, but I should have said, look, I love this stock, let's go in hard. I've bought too many stocks, guys. I started out with only ETFs, then I sold all of them to buy my apartment, and after that I've sort of bought, and at the most I had 15 stocks, which in my opinion is way too much. Again, these two were my favorite stocks, and I have like 4 or 5 stocks which I really love, and I should have just put my money into those companies. I've definitely over-diversified, and I'm trying to consolidate my portfolio now and try and buy more of the stocks I already own and love instead of trying to find new ones. So unless your portfolio really misses something or you have way too much money in one stock or one sector, just stick to what you know. At some points, yes, I know it's a big mistake I tell you never to do, taking profits. At some point in Amazon, Activision, Blizzard, Take-Two Interactive and a couple of index funds, I said to myself, right, stocks have gone up so much, these stocks have gone up 200-300% in a couple of years, surely they can't keep up. I'm going to take some profits, and be damned, every time these stocks just kept going up, so I'm not taking profits anymore. Let your winners win. That's my opinion. That you need to be like a capitalist. If a stock is doing well and a company is doing well, it's because it deserves to do well, and you shouldn't punish it by selling back. I've definitely paid way too much in fees. I used my bank as my broker in the beginning because it was my bank. I was like, this is easy, this is safe. But I actually didn't look at the fees, and turns out 2 or 3 years later I find out I've been paying $30 US every time I bought and sold the stock, and I'd bought and sold 20-30 times. So I've paid probably about $1,000 or $1,500 in fees over the years. I've now changed to a really cheap, brilliant broker, but I should have done it earlier. So way too much money in fees, wasted a lot of money there. One of the reasons for the high fees is that I invested small amounts at a time, $1,000 to $2,000. For me, these are small amounts. I should have really committed and bought $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 at a time, saving money in fees, having a less amount of stocks, and actually committing more to each stock. Because when you make an investment, you need to commit, because you have to ask yourself, if I'm investing in this company, I might as well go, not all in, but go hard, because I believe in it, right? You have to put your money where your mouth is. You can't just, I'll buy some and see how it goes. If you want to invest a lot. If you're not comfortable investing more than $1,000, if you have a lot of money, don't invest at all, unless it's something purely speculative. Like Bitcoin is speculative. Investing in great big companies is not speculative. It's about believing in the business. And the biggest mistake is I've been getting stuck on the sideline watching a couple of stocks. These are stocks that I started watching in 2014. Stocks like Netflix, Tesla, Facebook, Boeing. I could also mention Google. Check out how much these stocks have gone up since 2014. Now, I've made some great investments, and these two have crushed these, but I still should have invested in these companies. Why didn't I? Because they were too expensive, way too high PE ratio. The company is not even profitable. It's way too risky. Bullshit. Just invest. If you believe in a company, invest. Don't look at the price. You'll get caught stuck waiting so many times. Just Boeing, I looked at this in 2016, 2017. I was like, this stock is not taking a break. It's just going up and up and up. It's always at an all-time high. What did it do in like November, December 2018? Went up like 30%. Absolutely amazing. So the most important thing is believing in the company, not believing in the price of the stock. I'm not much into technical analysis. I know some people are, and they're saying, yeah, you should look at the graphs, you should look at all the patterns, head and shoulders, support line, moving day averages. That's not me. That's not what I do. And if I cared about stock price, I would never have bought Activision Blizzard at $19. It reached 70 before this correction. And I would never have bought Amazon at $290 in 2014. It's now at $1,400. It was expensive back then. So were all of these, but they've all gone up more than 100, 200% since then. So saying a stock is way too expensive to buy has nothing to do with it. The company is the number one thing. Another thing I forgot to mention is not holding any cash on hand. I've pretty much been at least 80-90% invested at all times, and I find so many great companies. I get way too excited and I just invest all the time. I invested almost once every week until I'd invested all my life savings. But there's been two big corrections. We're in one right now, and there was one in 2015, and I've tried buying as much as I can after these small crashes, but it hasn't been enough. And when I've found great companies, amazing companies, maybe had a bad earnings report, maybe Amazon take a dip, Activision Blizzard take a dip, I've really wanted to buy more, but I don't have cash. I don't have money on hand to buy more. So I kind of regret not keeping 15-20% in cash. But I tried taking out profits in order to hold cash. But I wasn't patient enough. I didn't want to wait for a dip, so I just invested. But I'm going to say this. This, for me, turned out to be a good thing. I invested all of my money, and the stock market has had the best run in history, which means I made a lot of money by investing all of my money. So I shouldn't have kept my money in cash, but in general, you should keep a little bit, because the stock market is not going to continue like it did from 2009 to 2018. It never stopped. It just went up and up and up. So why should you hold cash, But you usually get more corrections than we've had, That's why we're having one right now. We usually have crashes about this time, so I've just been very lucky. But generally, I think you should hold some cash. So I've really tried to fix these mistakes. I'm investing more and more at a time. I'm consolidating my portfolio. I'm focusing on my top holdings, like 4 or 5 ones I really love. I'm still not holding any cash because I want to be invested. I've changed broker to a discount broker, brilliant broker. I only pay about $9 in fees now. I invest more at a time, and I just invest in the companies I believe in regardless of price. So I have tried to fix these mistakes. Now I'm gonna maybe make another video on things I've done well and things I've done that most people fail to do, for example. So watch out for that video. Good luck to everyone. Don't panic, guys. This is going to be over. We're all going to be okay. We're all in this together. And yeah, see you in my next video.